Hello, how are we doing? Welcome to the weekly vlog. It's already Tuesday. I meant to intro yesterday and just didn't get to that. Before I get into the book stuff, I'm going to very briefly touch on some not great news. So if you're sensitive to pet health stuff, skip forward a bit. I'm not going to talk much because I literally just stopped crying 10 minutes ago and I don't want to start again. I have to get to work, so I need to not be emotional right now. But Tony is not doing too hot. We went to the vet real quick this morning. I thought he might have a UTI, and he very well could, but the vet is pretty sure it's just his kidney disease. And unfortunately, Tony is now officially in palliative care end of life stage. So yeah, so he's not doing too hot. He's okay right now. He got some fluids at the vet and they sent me home with some subcutaneous fluids, so I'm gonna have to start doing that for him twice a week or so. But we're kind of at a stage where there is no getting better, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on him, and once we cross the threshold where he starts to have more bad days than good days, then that's when I'm gonna have to make the call to say goodbye. So, which I have no idea when that's gonna be. It could be couple of weeks from now, it could be a couple months from now, could be a couple days. There is really no way to tell, but just so you all know, there may be some sad stuff on the way in the next little bit. I'll probably also take a break from YouTube whenever that happens. When that does happen, I'll leave a post on the community tab, so there'll at least be something there. Anyways, I'm gonna move on from that before I start to cry again. So real quick, before I have to run to work, just what I'm planning on reading this week. I'm in the middle of 2 books right now and about to start a 3rd one. So for audio, I'm listening to Before We Were Trans, A New History of Gender by Heyam, which is a nonfiction on gender expression throughout history in different cultures, both pre and post colonization. This has been very interesting so far. I'm having a good time with it. I am 78% of the way through, so just about finished up there. I'll finish that one tonight most likely. Had to squeeze in one last Pride Month book before the month ended. And then my other current read is Soul Eater by Mayne, which is the first book in a monster fucker romantasy series. I was in the mood for some Kindle Unlimited romantasy, and this one's been on my TBR for a year or two, so I figured I would just pick that one up kind of on a whim. I think right now I'm about 25% of the way through. Let me see, 26% through, and having a pretty good time with it. The writing is not incredible, but it is fun. I like the characters and I like the monster quite a bit. It's set in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world, and the main character was part of the military who are tasked with capturing the monsters who set off the apocalypse. And they capture this one monster who ends up killing everybody aside from the main character for reasons unknown, and they go off together to explore the wastelands. And at some point, I'm sure they'll be falling in love. And then I'm also planning on starting The Fury of the Gods today. I have the audiobook out, and weirdly enough, the ebook is on Kindle Unlimited, which is surprising to me. But I'll be doing a tandem read for that one. Probably start today. I might start tomorrow, but most likely today on the bus on the way to work. This is the 3rd and final book in the Bloodsworn saga by Gwynne, which is a Norse Viking-inspired fantasy, and it's been epic so far. I've been dying to read the 3rd book since the ending of the last book was crazy, and I think the live show is in 2 weeks, I think. I think it's the 2nd week of July, so we'll see if I finish it in time. These books do take me a very long time to read, so I may be rushing to finish it before the live show, but we'll see. Wish me luck in that endeavor. Other than that, this week I have some fun plans. I am going to a different city over the weekend to go and meet my niece for the first time. She's about a month old now, and I can't wait to go meet her. I'm also trying to finish crocheting a baby blanket for her, so fingers crossed I can actually finish that before Friday. And my best friend also lives in the same city as my brother and sister-in-law, so I'll be staying with her for the weekend, and we're going to a Renaissance fair, which I'm so excited about. I haven't been to a Ren fair in a couple of years, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm very broke right now, so I need to not spend a ton of money at the Ren fair, but it's a Ren fair, so I'm obviously gonna buy stuff, so wish me luck. Wish my wallet luck, actually. Anyways, I gotta run. I have to go catch this bus. I'm already so late for work because of bringing Tony to the vet. I was supposed to be at work for 11 this morning, and it is now 1:30. I'm not gonna get there until 2. It is what it is. My boss was fine with it. Obviously, Tony's health and well-being comes first, but I'm gonna run and we'll chat later on in the week. Hello, my friends. It's Friday. I have so many reading updates. I've been reading a bunch. I also have a DNF, so I'll start with that one. So I did end up DNFing Soul Eater by Mayne the other day. I got to 38%, which was 125 pages in. I was having a good time for the most part, but then the first spicy scene came in and I was out. Listen, I love me a good monster fucker book, and that was not the problem with this one. The issue was the dialogue during the spicy scene was so cringe and I couldn't do it. It gave me the ick immediately, and I literally stopped mid-sentence. I was like, I'm actually done now. I can't do this. So a DNF for that one, and I'm sad about it because I did read almost half of the book, so it just kind of feels like a waste of my time, but it is what it is. I would rather DNF it than continue and hate the whole time. Since then, I've got a couple of things on the go right now. So I started the audiobook for A Sunny Place for Shady People by Mariana Enriquez, which I am having a good time with right now. It is a horror anthology, and of course some of the stories are not quite as strong as other ones, but for the most part this is a pretty solid collection. I am 85% of the way through, so I'll probably finish that one up tomorrow morning. This book has flown by. I did not think I was that far in. I've also started, okay, listen, don't judge me. I've been in a romance mood lately, but I wanted to try something new, and I've never read a dark romance before, so I figured I would find a Kindle Unlimited dark romance and give it a shot. So I'm currently reading Cruel Delights by Sienne Vega, which I'm kind of having a good time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very far in. I think I'm only on chapter 4, which is maybe 10% in, or probably less than that. Yeah, so I'm 8% of the way through right now, and so far kind of liking it. I don't know much about it aside from the fact that the two main characters are both real fucked up. I think she's a stalker and he's a serial killer or something like that, and they end up falling in love. I don't know. This is new territory for me, so we'll see how it ends up going, but fingers crossed I end up liking it. The writing so far is fine. It's pretty good, but nothing life-changing, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I end up loving this one. I don't see it getting a super high rating regardless of where it goes, but I hope I at least have a good time in the moment. And then finally for right now, I've also started The Fury of the Gods by Gwynne, finally the third and last book in the Bloodsworn saga. I did, however, get spoiled, kind of. It wasn't the book's fault, it kind of was. I've been trying to explain how I got spoiled without spoiling anything for you guys, but there was a character in one of the first two books that I thought was gone, but when I opened the ebook for book 3, it opened directly to the table of contents, and I saw that character had a POV chapter, multiple of them, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess that character is back. Spoilers. So I was a little bit annoyed about that, but it's alright. It is what it is. I am currently on chapter 5, which is 8% of the way through, and so far, loving it. I'm immediately sucked right back into this story, and I can't wait to continue it. I am going to have a great time with this book, and I feel like I'm probably going to be devastated by the end of it, and I'm not mad about that. But I think those are all of the reading updates for the time being. Tomorrow I'm heading out bright and early to catch a train to go visit my brother and sister-in-law and meet my little baby niece for the first time. I'm so excited. I did manage to finish the baby blanket. I really didn't think that I was going to, but I did. Let me see if I can figure out how to show you here. One second. Ta-da! Look at that. I'm so proud of this. I think it is beautiful. It's so soft. It's just one gigantic granny square in yellow and white, which are their baby colors because they're all Winnie the Pooh themed. And yeah, I actually managed to finish it. I'm so proud of myself. This was actually only 2 balls of yarn, but it's really thick, chunky yarn. I think you can probably see how soft and fluffy it looks. So only 2 balls of yarn, so luckily it did not cost me a crazy amount to make this, but I can't wait to give this to them and have my niece have a little something that I made for her for the rest of her life. And then after I visit with my brother and my sister-in-law, I am going to my friend's house afterwards, because on Saturday and Sunday we're going to a Ren fair, and actually I'm going to put my camera back where it just was so I can show you the outfit. It's not the most interesting outfit ever. It's just a brown knit shirt and some green shorts, but I also have on a whole bunch of bracelets and rings and a whole bunch of jewelry to try and look a little bit goblin-y in some way. That's at least the general vibe. Is vaguely goblin. So it's at least earth tones and a bunch of jewelry and trinkets and stuff. I have on my like Halifax locket with a crystal and another crystal, and I have a wire wrapped shell here as well. Can you focus? Maybe that's in focus, I can't actually tell, but there's a wire wrapped shell here, and then all of my like bead crystal bracelets, tentacle ring, sun and moon ring, this guy with a cool little, this bead spins and it's fun to play with. But yeah, that's the outfit that I'm wearing for the Ren Fair. It's not like overly dramatic or anything, but when I was buying pieces for it, I wanted to wear things that I would actually wear again as part of my everyday wardrobe. I don't want to have things that are just for a Ren Fair that I'm only going to wear once every couple of years when I go to one. But yeah, that's the fit, that's the plan for the weekend. I'm just getting my bag packed right now. I'm gonna try and get a video edited to schedule for upload for while I'm gone, but given that it's already like 11 o'clock, that's probably not gonna happen tonight. My train leaves at 9 o'clock in the morning, which means I have to leave my house probably by 8, most likely, to get there on time. So I don't know how much longer I can stay awake, but we'll see how it goes. I'm of course bringing along my Kindle, and I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of The Fury of the Gods read. I'll probably save the dark romance one, what is it called again? Cruel Delights, for when I'm not in public, because I am not brave enough to read smut like that in public. But anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping, go get my things done, and we'll chat later on once I get back from the Ren Fair.
Gosh, those words hurt. Oh. Sir, I challenge you to a duel. Oh. All right, now you're going to take off your I've never met. Great.
Fantastic pack hunters and a great social way to hunt together. Commanders, we're talking things like chipmunks and squirrels, rabbits, jackrabbits, hares. We're talking even other birds like our songbirds, our crows, our gulls. Catch something to survive. Things with like hawks and falcons. You could get things like rabbits and squirrels. Something that would last you a day, maybe a lunch and a dinner. Going out with an eagle. After the lady of the lake.
I was just filming my first half of the year book haul, and now I have quite a mess to clean up. Get all these books back onto my shelves here. Hello, good morning, happy Monday. It's time to wrap up the weekly vlog, but first I have so many things to talk about. So first and foremost, just some reading updates real quick. So since last we spoke, I have a handful of updates. First of all, with Cruel Delights, the dark romance that I was attempting did not work out. I DNF'd that one. I think I got to, what, like 13%? Yeah, 13%, so about 50 pages, and I was having an okay time up until the male main character had a POV chapter where he was talking about how rich he is and how smart he is and how he's smarter than everybody else. He's a surgeon because he just wants to be there just to save the day. Meanwhile, he's actually using his position as a way to keep the hunger at bay because he's a serial killer and he likes being a surgeon because he can have people's lives in his hands and choose whether or not to kill them. And I was just like, you know what? You are too dramatic for me, and I am done now. So I DNF'd that one because he was just so cringe. So that did not work out. But then for an audiobook, I ended up picking up randomly Escape Velocity by Victor Manibo, not sure. It's a sci-fi murder mystery, which I gotta stop picking up murder mysteries because I'm only kind of enjoying this one. I'm about halfway through it right now. I'm probably going to finish it just because it's pretty short and it's kind of background noise, but I'm not loving it, I'm not going to lie. And it's not the book's fault. I think it's just me. I like murder mystery movies. I don't love them in book form, but I want to like them. So I keep trying them in hopes that one of them will work for me, and none of them really do. But I do like most of the characters in this, and I like how queer it is, so that's nice at least. The setting is pretty cool. It's just the main plot that I'm just kind of mid on. I finished A Sunny Place for Shady People, and I gave it a solid 4-star. I really enjoyed it. There were, of course, a handful of stories that just didn't quite work for me, but as a whole, this collection was pretty strong, I found. Some of the stories were actually pretty freaky. I found a handful of them could have gone a little bit farther. Some of them went farther than I thought they would, so it was kind of a mixed bag there. But the writing style was consistently good, and I liked the characters, at least throughout the majority of the stories. It's just some of them were more effective as horror than other ones were. With The Fury of the Gods on my Kindle, I did quite a lot of progress on the train to and from the Ren Fair, so I'm now 41% of the way through. I'm loving this. It is so good. I'm finding there's a little bit too much in terms of battle scenes because it does kind of feel like, at least the part where I'm at, it's like battle after battle after battle, and it's a little bit excessive, but that's really my only critique of it right now. And aside from that, I'm loving the plot. I'm loving where the characters are going. I've teared up a couple of times, and I can't wait to find out where the rest of the plot goes. I think the ending of this book is going to be fucking epic, and I can't wait for it. I think that's all of the reading updates for the time being. Kind of rapid fire, but I do have to get to work, and I have a whole bunch of stuff to show you before I can do that. So real quick, to sum up my weekend, it was so fun. First of all, on Friday, I think in the last update I said that it was Friday, but it was actually Thursday. So on actual Friday, I left at like 8 o'clock in the morning to get to the train. To get to the city where I was going, it was like 5.5 hours. So I got there around 2:30 roughly. My sister-in-law came and picked me up, and I went over to their house for a couple of hours. We went out for dinner, and I got to give my niece her blanket that I made for her. And you know, she's a month old, so she didn't really care. But my brother and my sister-in-law both loved it. They were very happy about it, so that was nice to see. I got to hold her, and she's so goddamn cute. Oh my god. Her little fingernails are so small, and she's just the tiniest little thing. She's adorable. I can't wait to see what kind of kid she grows up to be. The next time that I see her is going to be in October. We're all going to meet up in Toronto for my birthday, and then afterwards I went to my friend's house for the night, and one of their friends was over, and we ended up playing Magic the Gathering. I'd never played it before, so I had no idea what I was doing. All of my turns were very much a team effort, but I had a lot of fun, and I do actually want to get into Magic the Gathering. And then Saturday was the Ren Fair. It was so much fun. It was hot as fuck though. Oh my god. We've been in the middle of a heat wave for a couple of weeks now, and Saturday was rough. Everything was damp. I felt like I was walking through soup. So not the most comfortable of experiences, but still a really fun time. People's outfits were incredible, and all the vendors were really fun. There was somebody doing a presentation on falconry and brought out a whole bunch of birds. It was so cool. And of course, I bought too many things. Not that bad, but more than I should have. So first of all, show this here. So I got this tote bag, which actually came free because I spent over a certain amount with this one vendor. So it says always yearning on it. It's adorable. And the vendor that I got them from is an author, and I was only going to get one book, and then my friend looked away for 2 seconds, and I ended up with 3. I don't know how that happened. They just jumped into my hand and I couldn't say no. I almost bought a 4th. There was a really cool like gothic vampire one that I was really interested in, but I had to cap it at 3. I could not come home with 4 books. So the first one that I got is A Slightly Stranger Point of View. These are all by Hannah Burse. This has a stunning cover. This one is a botanical horror, and one of the stories in there is about potatoes. It's a potato horror, and that sounds great. She was saying that that one is her most popular story because it's so strange. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about. Ooh, I didn't even see this. There's like a beautiful illustration on the inside there. That's stunning. I don't know if there's more throughout the book. There totally is. Oh my god. Amazing. I'm excited to read this. I also got From Damsels into Dragons, which is retellings of classic fairy tales, but they're more feminist. And again, beautiful, beautiful art and really cool illustrations all throughout the book. Some of them have like borders around it, so just a stunning work of art, and I can't wait to read this one as well. And then, oh god, immediately drops it. And then finally, the one that I just couldn't resist is Thimble, which has one of the most beautiful covers that I've ever seen in my life. This one is a like children's or middle grade fairy tale. I'm not huge on middle grade anymore, but I do love fairy tales, and I just really couldn't resist the art here. It also came with a free matching bookmark, and I got 3 other free bookmarks from them as well. These were for their other books. There's that one. And finally, the gothic vampire one that I wanted to buy. That was the title of the book as well, if you're curious what the vampire one was. I kind of wish that I'd bought the vampire one too, but I had to chill out just a little bit. And the only other things that I bought were both from this artist here, Seagull. You can kind of see that. I just got 2 things from them. One of them was this adorable orange cat magnet. It's handmade out of clay and hand painted. It's so cute. And then they had like a dice tower where you could roll a d20 to get a random buddy. And I got this pirate seagull, and I love him dearly. Oh, and then some vendors were handing out trinkets, and there were little bins all over the place that were like trinket trades where you could leave trinkets that the vendors gave you and trade it for whatever else you wanted. One of the trinkets that I got was this little 3D painted orange cat. It's so cute. I'm trying to get it to focus. Is it focused? I can't tell. I think that's focused. Either way, adorable. And then one that I traded for was this little they them stone. And yeah, that's everything that I got from the Ren Fair. I had a blast. I definitely want to go to more of those in the future. But we are actually not done. There's still more to look at here. My friend happened to see that Indigo is doing like a half off Door Crasher sale right now. And we had just been talking about Heated Rivalry because she wants to read the book before she watches the TV show. And I convinced her to read the entire series, or at least books 1 and 2. And then we saw that Indigo is doing a half off Door Crasher deal, and the whole series is part of that. So we went just for her to get Game Changers. I was not going to buy anything, except I bought the rest of the series. I couldn't stop myself. They were half off, and I was also able to redeem some points. So I got all 3 books for like $30 after tax, and I just couldn't say no to that. So now I own the entire series, and I love that for me. Did I have the money to be doing that? No. I'm a little bit broke right now, but it's fine. Anyways, that was my adventure this week. I hope I don't have any more adventures for the next little while because goddamn, am I tired. And as I mentioned, broke. I can't afford to have more adventures, so I need to chill for a while. I also just really need to rest. It's been several weeks in a row of really high energy things, so I'm looking forward to having at least a full week to do nothing. So with that said, that'll do it for this week's vlog. Thank you as always for coming along. I appreciate you. I hope you also had a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.